Warning: anger destroys. Seneca's shocking lesson on rage and wrath. Imagine sitting in morning traffic, the clock ticking relentlessly, and the driver in front of you seems to miss every green light. Your pulse quickens, your grip on the steering wheel tightens, and the urge to honk grows irresistible. Or perhaps you recall a heated argument where the words of the other person made you so angry that you later regretted your own reactions. How often do we lose control of our emotions in these moments, even when we know it harms us more in the long run? The Roman philosopher Seneca described anger as a brief madness, a powerful depiction that highlights how dangerous this emotion truly is. In his work De Ira on anger, he explains why anger is not only destructive to ourselves, but also to those around us. More importantly, he provides tools to help us learn how to control anger, and in doing so, find inner peace. In this audiobook, we will take you on a journey through Seneca's timeless lessons and explore how to manage negative emotions in everyday life. 1. What is anger and why is it dangerous? Anger. Seneca refers to it as a brief madness. This phrase perfectly captures what happens when we give free rein to rage. We lose control of ourselves. In a moment of fury, reason and logic seem to vanish, and we act impulsively, often in ways we later regret. Anger plunges us into a state of complete irrationality, leading to decisions that can harm us in the long run. But the dangers of anger do not stop with ourselves. Seneca describes it as a destructive force that not only undermines our inner peace, but also poisons our relationships. While a fit of rage may be fleeting, its consequences can be far-reaching. Relationships are damaged, trust is eroded, and our reputation suffers. Imagine you have a conflict with a colleague. In a surge of anger, you raise your voice, say something you don't mean, or act impulsively. In the end, the damage isn't just felt by the other person. You also feel drained, regretful, and realize that the anger weakened you more than the conflict itself. For Seneca, the conclusion is clear. Anger is a form of self-destruction, and only those who can tame it preserve their inner strength and harmony. 2. How can we control anger? Controlling anger is an art that Seneca mastered, and his advice remains remarkably relevant today. The first step, according to the Stoic, begins with reflection. Before anger overwhelms us, we must recognize that this emotion is a powerful, yet dangerous force. It is not external circumstances that make us angry, but our reaction to them. This understanding gives us the opportunity to pause and consciously decide how we want to respond. Another important approach Seneca suggests is to slow down our reaction. Instead of succumbing to impulsive rage, he advises taking a deep breath and viewing the situation from a different perspective. This gives us the time to calm our emotions and act with a clear mind. We can ask ourselves, what would a wise person do in this situation? This simple moment of reflection can make the difference between a constructive conversation and an escalation. Wisdom, as Seneca emphasizes, is our most important advisor. It helps us recognize that anger does not solve problems, but rather creates new ones. By considering the long-term consequences of our actions, it becomes easier to adopt a calm and composed demeanor. A practical example. Imagine you find yourself in a heated discussion with a colleague. Instead of immediately going on the defensive, you take a deep breath and consciously listen. You try to understand your colleague's perspective and respond thoughtfully. Suddenly you realize the situation is far less dramatic than it initially seemed. By keeping anger in check, You create space for a solution that works for both sides, and you preserve your inner peace. 3. Why control anger? Why is it worthwhile to control anger? For Seneca, the answer is clear. By taming our rage, we open the door to a calmer, more balanced, and ultimately more fulfilling life. Anger, he argues, disrupts our inner equilibrium and leads to impulsive decisions we often regret later. Developing the ability to remain calm, even in challenging moments, not only strengthens our emotional stability, but also creates space for clarity and rational action. Another significant benefit of anger management is evident in our interpersonal relationships. Calmness makes us better communicators and colleagues. Instead of escalating conflicts with anger, we approach them with respect and patience, a mindset that fosters trust and harmony. Relationships built on this foundation tend to be more enduring and fulfilling. In the long run, controlling anger also brings measurable success. While venting anger might provide short-term relief, the consequences, damaged relationships, wasted energy, poor decisions, far outweigh the fleeting satisfaction. By remaining calm, we invest our time and energy in constructive solutions, reaping the benefits of this composure over time. Imagine this scenario. A manager who reacts to pressure by shouting and blaming employees is unlikely to be respected as a leader. On the contrary, such behavior fosters resentment and insecurity. However, a manager who remains composed during challenging situations exudes confidence. This calmness cultivates a positive work environment, motivates the team, and strengthens collaboration. Seneca would have said, "This manager exemplifies the virtue of self-control, an essential quality for achieving long-term success." 4 techniques for controlling anger in daily life. How can we maintain control over our anger in everyday situations? Seneca offers practical approaches to prevent emotional outbursts and foster deliberate responses. A key strategy is reflection and mindfulness. Take regular moments to reflect on your emotions, whether through daily meditation, a peaceful walk, or brief pauses during the day. These moments of self-reflection enable us to identify our personal triggers and develop better ways of managing them. Another effective technique is consciously stopping negative thoughts. We often allow ourselves to be carried away by an internal dialogue of anger, which only escalates the situation. But what if we chose otherwise? Instead of being swept up in negative thoughts, we can consciously pause and seek a more constructive perspective. Seneca reminds us with the words, "It is not anger itself that harms us, but our willingness to yield to it." This insight reveals that the power over our emotions lies within ourselves. A simple example illustrates this. Imagine you're stuck in heavy traffic and someone cuts you off. Your first impulse might be to get angry or shout. But instead of giving in to anger, you could pause, take a deep breath, and realize that getting upset changes nothing, except your stress levels. This conscious redirection of your reaction allows you to maintain greater calm and control, even in stressful moments. With these techniques, we can gradually learn to tame our anger in daily life and steer our lives toward calmer waters. Anger is a powerful and dangerous emotion that often prevents us from making clear decisions and maintaining harmonious relationships. Yet Seneca shows us that we are not powerless. With the right mindset, reflection, and the application of Stoic principles, we can control this destructive force and instead find inner peace and tranquility. His succinct quote sums it up perfectly. Anger is a brief madness. Now it's up to you. How do you deal with anger and frustration? Do you have techniques that help you stay calm in stressful moments? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. You might just inspire someone else. In the next audiobook, we'll dive even deeper into philosophy and discuss the power of self-reflection. If you don't want to miss any valuable insights, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, supports the channel immensely, and who knows, perhaps generosity is another virtue Seneca would have admired. Until next time, stay calm and wise.